Hello, I think it works now. Do say hello in chat. Oh, pals, I think we're here. I think it's time. I can see aliveness now. Uh, don't panic if I look blurry as fuck. I am on the top floor of a building where the Wi Fi mostly reaches, but sometimes it doesn't quite. Nevertheless, seem to have overcome some of the updating OBS nonsense that was involved, and we're ready to get going with some globbies. Yay! Um, I think I say this every time, but I'm hoping to do this at a fairly brisk pace because I've got other shit to be getting on with. I have so much writing up music to do. Holy shit, so much writing. Um, this was meant to be a quiet break, and it's not been so far. Um, you know what? You can't prove that I don't. Um, there, got hair in my mouth. That's fun. It's left my head. It's gone to my mouth. Right, let's do some globbies. Hello, Pingu. Hello, Franca. Hello, Amma. Hello, Reese. That'll do. That's enough people. Time to glob. So, it's the season 24. Do you remember season 24? It was ages ago, but it was good. It was good, I think. Um, yeah, I liked it. Let's go and celebrate some of the things that were good and some of the things that were shit and some of the things that were funny about that season. But first, oh, look at the images! Oh, look at them! Oh, you like the images, don't you? You like it when they sort of pop up and around. Oh, look at them. Oh, you like the images very much. And congratulations to Reese. Lake Canard, obviously that's the symbol I'm looking at. Os Patos, the winners of this season. The third time that Os Patos or the Ducks have won the Gobshite Draft League. Incredible scenes from a Cabal point of view. Um, yeah, a full 3 wins each for enough of the Cabal to matter. But it ended up being kind of a stomp. The Ducks were just the best team. Um, Only 5 points in it, but yeah, it was not in doubt for quite a long period towards the end of the season. Um, Waitchester United, a narrow second place, based, I guess, on their youth team doing well, just ahead of Surreal Moneyball in third. But there was a brief period where it looked like the Ducks might never lose, but they managed to lose 4 games. So they sort of went on holiday once things got confirmed. So, yeah, there you have it. Well done to them. A massive 29-team season because life is hell. Chitesse pulling up the rear, only 11 points for the real kids team, the fake kids team, however you want to call it. It was a kids team, but not a kids team. Um, I mean, some Pingu. I would argue that 25th out of 29 is a little bad. However, I don't want to argue too strongly because 24th. Oh no, 24th is bad. 24th is also bad. Um, yeah, the Ducks really did just fuck it over the last few games. But yeah, thank you to everyone who took part, and hope you are satisfied to an extent with your team's performance. I know I'm not. Uh, let's get to some awards. Of course, no Globbies awards would be complete without Team of the Season going to the team that won the league. So congratulations to Ospatosh for that. But Wolves did get a couple of votes for this, for exceeding a lot of people's expectations. Hang on, where even were they? Yeah, fifth. Fifth for Wolves is patently insane, given some of the stuff they drafted. So they got a couple of votes for that. And Barcelona also got a vote, which I would argue was a bad idea. Let's go on to the more interesting DOF of the season. Now this one is going to go to Will, the Wolves DOF for, I mean, let's be honest, drafting is something that I think most people thought was just shit. He picked up a few genuine like no-namers towards the end of the draft. It was a team spearheaded by the likes of Garnacho, who I'm yet to be convinced is a real person, and like some other people. But yeah, really, really short of like major superstars. But just a really, really incredible performance. So well done to Will for proving everyone wrong. Um, a couple of obligatory votes for Reese for drafting the winning team, but shouts out for the likes of Stefan, who voted for himself, Robbie, for I guess reasons New York Red Bulls were okay, and Tice, which is just obviously an insane thing to do, the vote of an idiot. Let's carry on. Manager of the season, plenty of options here, but it's Jose. Yeah, the special one. Uh, you know, a second excellent season in a row, taking the Ducks to an easy league title. Well done to him. But shouts too for the likes of Ralph Rangnick, who I honestly could not tell you who he was in charge of last season, but maybe he was good. Who can say? Eric Ten Hag, again, who even was he? It was so long ago. Good lord. Gasparini, that was Alphabetico, um, and Alphabetico did a fuck of a lot better than they had any right to. So fair play to QPG. Arne Slot, in charge of, was that also Wolves? Could have been Wolves. Hard to say. But he was good. And Stefan, again, voting for himself as manager of the season, which I will remind you is inadmissible. Congratulations to Jose Mourinho. Let's go on to player of the season. Yeah, this was not close. So the results in order are Erling Haaland at the bottom of the ranking, then every player who isn't Erling Haaland or Joe Gomes, then Joe Gomes, and then Evan Ferguson. That's the tier ranking of all players in this season. Yeah, the Ducks real boy has essentially achieved transcendence at this point. A real vindication of the entire real boy system. Just absolutely ran the show for the Ducks this season, and it's really really hard to argue. Um, so well done to him. I will now obey myself to move my camera over here. Let's go on to the team of the season. I guess that comes next. So start with your goalkeeper. Plenty of competition here. All the nominees got votes. Presumably all of them did something relevant. I sadly, as I was in an admin coma during the stats roundup at the end of the season, but the slightest bit of attention to the goalkeeper stats. But it looks like Alex Murray was good, so he's going to get in to be a Surge representative on the team of the season. Hells Bells got a few votes for ABC. Mark Flecken and Mike Mignon also picked up some recognition, and the solitary vote for Jordan Pickford at the Rob Bulls. But Alex Murray takes goalkeeper of the season. Right back. Again, a pretty competitive category, except for whoever wasn't voted for. I can't remember who the fifth person was. But Rick Karsdorp, what a rehabilitation for Rick Karsdorp, who I think has had a turbulent gobshite history, I would say. But the throw-in master, just running up and down the wing, bossing from right wing back. Rick Karsdorp becomes the first Duck, probably not the last, to make team of the season. Trent at Wolves and YC1 at the Foxes, both getting shouts out for excellent performances, and Juan Foyt at Rob Bulls also receiving votes. But it's Karsdorp, Big Rick on the right. Let's get to centre backs. Well, it's getting ducky. Powell is the clear winner here. Most votes of anyone, but he is joined by his fellow Duck centre back Milan Skriniar. Lots of viable candidates here. Tony Bass got closest to unseating one of the champions, but yeah, the likes of Amondi and William Saliba, Virgil van Dijk, Antonio Silva, and Jorge Cuenca not doing enough to break it up. But will we be able to make it a Ducks clean sweep of the back four? Let's find out. Let's go to left back. We will not. Um, yeah, Ice at the baddies just I can't remember the exact number, but a ridiculous number of assists, like a truly ludicrous number of assists. Big part, yeah. The Ice to top 10 pipeline is extremely real for the baddies this season. Alex Grimaldo at Tiki Takatoa was really really good, um, but not good enough. Ice was just on another level this season. But Pervis Estepinian and Caio Enrique both getting some votes as well. Let's go into the midfield with our central midfielders. Well, this was pretty fucking clear. More or less everybody agreed that Guillermo Musiala at Wolves was one of the best, and Frank Zappa at Leicester also just a leading light in the category this season. Yeah, both really, really crucial parts. Probably the best parts of their respective teams. Just really, really bossing the midfield this season. Votes for the likes of Eduardo Camavinga, who I don't recall doing anything for Crawford, but maybe he was good. Jose Ruben Bernal at Surreal was good. Douglas Luiz was KCC, I want to say. He can't have been good. And Fratesi and De Bruyne, I mean, come on, don't be, don't waste my time here. But yeah, it's a pretty straightforward choice here, Frank Zappa and Musiala. Let's go onto the right wing. After we go to the left wing, which of course is first. Marcus Rashford at Surreal. Another one of these categories where I think there were several really viable votes this year. Like sometimes you get seasons where it's just like there's only one person, but I think all the people with votes here were really good. Rashford, a key part of the Surreal title challenge. Garnacho at Wolves, a surprisingly influential figure. Kaoru Mitoma at Sirs was just there and thereabouts all year long. Really, really made his presence felt. And Raheem Sterling at Los Ecos, maybe the only good thing about Ecos this season. Yeah, well done to all of them, but it's Rashford who is going to take it. And now, as advertised, we'll go to the right wing. Because, of course, Lionel Messi was the best thing at the Alps by kind of hilarious distance. The Messi-Benzema pairing finally happened, and as we expected, Messi was miles better than both Benzema and arguably the rest of the Alps put together. He strolls into the right wing position here. Moussa Diaby at Wolves, another really good Wolves performance this season, but edged out by a more familiar name. And Martin Odegaard at Flying Fox Soccer, also getting some recognition. Yeah, the Foxes were, again, one of those teams who were unexpectedly good. And it's hard to argue with him being a really big part of that. So, well done. But it's Messi who takes right winger of the season, and all that's left to do is for us to figure out who our strikers are. Now, obviously, we have had Evan Ferguson win Player of the Season, so you would expect to see him show up here, but you'd be right. Every single person voted for Evan Ferguson, and people were quite divided on who should partner him up front in our team. Loads of people got votes. We have technically a tie for the second slot between Victor Osimhen of the Wolves and Artem Big Dov on campus, Woof Woof Dovbik. But I've broken the tie in favour of Osimhen because nobody associated with that Weasel season should be in team of the season. So congratulations to Osimhen, our second Wolves representative. But recognition for the likes of top 10. Oh dear, who was a really really important part of the baddies season. The Mediterranean, Vlahas, and Marcus Thuram, all good, but not good enough. And here's a lovely big look at your team this season. So yes, you'll see we have 4 Ducks, 3 of them in defence, 2 Wolves representatives, and then I believe it's 1 for everyone else. So it's Baddies, Surreal, Waychester, and the Elves. Congratulations to everyone represented. Let's go on to some of the Banter Awards. Beginning with Banter Player Manager and finishing, well, not entirely, but close. So, Our new system of Better Player Manager awards. I've calculated all your votes for 3 points, 2 points, 1 point, and I've tallied them together in this giant wheel of banter soup. Um, and helpfully, we have 2 ties. Um, so we are split for the gold medal between Alex Ramiro and Paint Trophy, both delightful figures of fun for KCC throughout this season. Some in more pointed circumstances than others. Neither behaving as Franca intended. And then so they'll take a gold medal each, and we'll split the bronze medal too between Pervis Estepinian for his perfect hat trick while at AFC Alphabetico, and Hassan Diop, who was the great leading hope for the Pigs as an incredible DM with his passing and vision, and it was promptly retrained as a centre back throughout the entire pre-season and started games there. But yeah, all kinds of votes going around for all kinds of people doing all kinds of things. Big showed up, not sure why. Pep Guardiola was shit and is now dead. That's fun. Erling Haaland is shit, still alive. Patrick Omondi ended up playing in goal. I can't remember he did, but he certainly got on the top 20 list for the goalkeeping stat, despite being Patrick Omondi. Alex Grimaldo was a figure of contention in the draft and the early season between Reece and Potter. Outfielders in goal, just generally got a shout here. Joe Gomes, always nice to be nominated. But it's Ramiro and Paint Trophy who are going to split the title here. So congratulations to them. But yeah, lots of decent options in this category. Let's go on to Banter Team. Again, plenty of interesting choices here. But it's going to St Martin Saints. We've known for a few seasons now that Tice is really bad at gobshite. But it was really quite a sight to see him be this bad despite having Erling Haaland. Yeah, the Saints are a real mess this season. They were luckily righted the ship a little bit to avoid being legendarily bad, but they were very bad. Big did spend some time in goal, that is true. They are. Yeah, a clear winner here, but votes for the likes of KCC for killing Pep, Joe Gomes, Fullman got through not 2 but 3 managers this season and almost got through the entire season without winning a game. The Pigs for their vision got a representative here. Maychester United, or should I say Waychester United, were kind of a perfect Waychester season. It's almost like threatens to win the league, and then just could not make it happen. Whenever they got approached the line, just stopped. Make tried by ignoring every instinct that made him make, and it still had the exact same classic make result. You love to see it. Barcelona also represented here, I think, for being a team that Stefan is the dealer for. But well done to SMS for being really shit. Let's go on to Gimmick of the Season. We have a tie here for first place between Waychester, for the aforementioned delightful reasons, and Paint's Trophy not being where he was designed to be played. The constant checking of, oh shit, where's he gone now, was really delightful, as Franco built everything around a very specific positioning and did not get it basically ever. Sometimes just it's so dangerous to rely on these things, but I'm so glad that people still try, because we get to enjoy their suffering. I'm not going to award a single winner here. You can just split it between you. But votes as well for the likes of Joe Gomes, the Pigs Vision, Ducks being a throw-in based team. The Ducks throw-ins were fantastic. Huge fan of all that. It's one of those where you don't really expect that to actually come off in this format, and it just really did. They were regularly really fun from throw-ins. Outfielders in goal was a common thing that kept cropping up this season and was always a good laugh. And finally, Reese's best midfield in the league, as hyped pre-season, uh, basically not really being the key parts of their success, and certainly not showing up in team of the season contention. But yeah, Waychester and Paint Trophy misbehaving. Let's carry on. Surprise of the season. We just got a straight up like. Sometimes this can be like, oh, someone plays in a weird position, but this season it's just, oh shit, like Wolves, you were good. Yeah, very few people saw that coming. So throwing it onto the pile for Wolves. Yeah, nobody thought that was going to be a thing. But recognition as well for Pervis Estepinian's perfect hat trick. That's not a player who's supposed to do that, but he did do that. Have one vote simply for boringly Oshpatosh. So I guess somebody just thought they were going to be shit, and they weren't. Got one more here for the BPA full man team, almost getting through 3 managers without winning a game, which I don't know. I mean, they were a pretty BPA team, but they were also pretty obviously bad. So I would argue not that surprising. Joe Gomes, always nice to be nominated, and a couple of votes for Martin Odegaard's positioning, both for actually spending some time midfield and for spending some time deep in midfield at DM. But it's Wolves who take surprise of the season. I mean, you say that, Reese, but if that were true, I would have remembered it, and I can't remember anything, so can't be true. Let's go on to disappointment of the season. Now, here you have a quite delightful situation where the combination of Erling Haaland and St Martin Saints has contrived to have them miss out on success. Both got an equal number of votes, but separately not enough to overtake the single winner of Weasels. Last season's champions started okay, maybe even pretty good, and then fucking exploded. Just stopped functioning as a football team and flushed themselves down the toilet. Both Haaland and SMS were individually and together dreadful, but it is poetically appropriate that they are simply incompatible for winning anything in any category. Paint Trophy at right back, also getting a shout here. Lionel Messi for arguably proving some hypotheses. Honestly, that's embarrassing. And the Ducks not actually going unbeaten. I wonder who could have submitted that as a vote. Also, Joe Gomes must try harder. But it's Weasels who fucked up enough that they'll win disappointment of the season, and I couldn't agree more. Let's go on to rivalry of the season, our final award. Plenty of options here. Sub keepers versus outfield keepers. Yeah, it's hard to know who was going to end up in goal sometimes. Tice versus Reese. Tice may have made some ill-advised attempts to front up to Reese before absolutely fucking up his entire draft and season while Reese won the league. Messi versus the rest of the elves. When one player just plays so well but doesn't support the team around him, who can judge people for voting on that? Joe Gomes, I guess, suffering some internal conflict this season. The age-old Florian Wirtz versus Joao Musiala. One where I think kind of both representatives got some wins this season, but that's too far. But Musiala is probably going to be your favourite here. He's the one in team of the season. We have a tie for top here. Haaland versus Tice, and Franke versus Pep. Yes, both two drafts that somehow went against each other and just became a real delightful mess as they cursed their. The Franke v Pep is more a source of personal animosity, whereas Haaland v Tice is more like the kind of unstoppable force, immovable object situation. where just how good can one player be that he can be counteracted by the sheer badness of one DOF. So I won't force a winner here. They can both tie. Both were relevant rivalries this season. Um, so a few special mentions for season 24 before we wrap up. I'm glad we had a chance to shout out Joe Gomes in this ceremony. I was worried he might have got away with not being recognised, but well done to him. Giz Hornkamp getting his first goal in the Gobshite League after quite a few attempts at this point. The Estepinian hat-trick has been mentioned, but thanks for being here. The amount of outfield players in goal also has come up. Big love to the admin team. Yes, thank you to everyone who's involved in making this dumb thing work. Everyone who's, for Whammer for filling in for me on admin at times, Reese for doing all of the streaming and the website stuff, and make for not switching it off. Tom as well for messing around in the back end now. Fuck Pep, can't imagine who said that. Double sacking is now a thing. I feel like we've technically had one before, but obviously this is the real, genuine, holy shit, we did it, double sacking in one season. Full Man really trailblazers here. Incredible stuff. But that's going to wrap us up for season 24. Obviously, we'll soon get started drafting on our 25th season. Somehow, we are going to hit a quarter century of this insane shit. But I'm really looking forward to getting started with that. So, obviously, you know exactly where we're going to be. It's the last season of the World Cup cycle. So we have to go back to the adopted home of the Gobshite Draft League, which is Montserrat, which is where the volcano lays in wait for anyone who must be punished for failure. So that's coming up in the next season, and I look forward to finding out what a mess you're all going to make with your end of cycle gimmicks. We'll do some wheels either now or later, depending on how available Whammer is. But until then, go away.